Understanding clone behavior in Pyomo models. What gets copied? Introduction. When working with Pyomo models, you might want to create a copy, clone, of an existing model or a model component. However, it's not always clear what exactly is duplicated during cloning, especially when variables in the model reference components outside the clone scope. This post clarifies how Pyomo's clone method behaves and gives you practical insights to use it safely. How Pyomo models and blocks work. Pyomo models are built using blocks, hierarchical containers that hold variables, sets, constraints, and other components. Both concrete model and abstract model are specialized blocks. Each block owns the components assigned to it and defines a scope. Components not owned by a block but referenced by it remain external to that block's hierarchy. What does clone do? Clone is a specialized version of Python's copy.deepcopy, tailored for Pyomo's block structure. Duplicates the target block and all nested subblocks, recursively copying their owned components. Does not clone components outside the target block scope. References to those external components are preserved, not copied. Example scenario. Consider a model M with nested blocks and variables. All components owned by M.B1 and its subblocks, B2, are duplicated. Variables like M.B1.y, M.B1.z, M.B1.B2.w and clone_block are new distinct copies. External variables, like M.x, which belong to a different block, M, are not cloned. The clone still references the original MX. Checking the clone. Implications for model variables. If variables belong to a different block than the one cloned, clone does not create new copies of these external variables. The clone keeps references to the original variables. If all variables involved in constraints and objectives belong to the same block being cloned, clone is safe and will provide fully independent copies. If your model references variables outside the cloned block, be aware that those references are shared with the original model. Is there a way to test the safety of cloning? Currently, Pyomo does not provide a built-in function that explicitly tests whether all variables in a model belong to the same block scope for cloning safety. However, you can inspect ownership by checking the parent_block of variables. Manually verify that all variables in constraints and objectives have the expected block as parent. Example check. This returns true if all variables belong to the model's block, suggesting cloning will be consistent. Summary. Pyomo's clone duplicates the block and all components within that block's scope. Components external to the cloned block are not copied, references to them remain shared. To avoid confusion, ensure that all variables used by constraints and objectives are owned by the same block you're cloning. Perform checks on variable ownership if needed to confirm cloning safety. Using clone correctly helps avoid unexpected bugs caused by shared references, especially in complex hierarchical models. Happy modeling with Pyomo. Rocket!